All right, guys, so today we're doing a video on our 1968 1600. A lot of you notice this car has been for sale for a little bit. I tell you what, here's the situation. BMWs are a difficult car to sell. A newer one is because you never know when it's going to break. Often is the answer to that question. The older BMWs are hard to sell because everybody doesn't want to have to source parts for it, blah, blah, blah. You know, we've heard all the excuses the last few weeks. They're also scared of rust. So, like I said, there's no way the top of this car could be surface rust and the bottom not be totally wrecked and full of holes. We've already made this video once, but it's been a long time ago. So we're going to make another video today showing the underneath the car on the lift, and hopefully we can find this old timer a new home, because in our shop at this minute we need some space and we need it now. So let's lift it up on the lift. Let's go underneath of it and take a look. So here we are. Get the car up, got some lights down. We're gonna let Philip get in here and show you exactly what's what. We have the driver's side, no, the passenger side floor pan is right here. It's got a little bit of oil on it. The engine's seepy. It never actually drips oil on the floor as far as I know. But you can see there's no rust. We could go up here, we could take out that with no problem. Usually that's all rusted out. Usually the seams up here are totally gone. There is no rust at all. There's a little bit of surface rust, but it's nothing at all. Going on back, like we said before, it needs a center carrier. Pretty soon it's like just rotten. It's not broken. Back here, you can see I use my pointer. The bolts right here. How nice that is. See that? See that? Yeah. Moving on back, there's nothing. Let Philip get on this side, come towards me. Nothing up in these little pockets at all. That's all good. The CV axle boots, well, they left the program about 20 years ago. So there is that. Coming over here, look at the trunk. No junk in the trunk. A couple little flakes of paint coming off there. Tiny little bit of surface rust. Usually these are ripped out. These are totally gone. There's not even any rust around that at all. This thing's been inside a lot of its life. And you can see back here, not really anything going on. No cancer rust is what a lot of people call it. And even back here, let Philip come on this side. Usually up here, this is all rotted out. And here is like perfect. There's no problems there at all. All right. The gas tank, which is right here, a little bit of surface rust on it. We looked inside this, there was not any crap in there. We're not getting anything in the gas filter. We're not having any issues with any of that. And that's the situation. So going on to the driver's side of the car here, same way. All the floor pans are really, really, really good shape. There's a plug. There's nothing rotted out around the plug at all. Over here, this drain deal here is perfect. No issues. There again, oh, we're flipped around. This is passenger side, my bad. We had it in there earlier and we pulled it out and we pulled it in forwards now. But everything's a little bit coated in oil. This car will need, if I was gonna daily drive it, not that I ever daily drive this, because if somebody crashes into you, what are you gonna do then? We'll get out of here a little bit away from that. Not that I would ever daily drive it, but what essentially we need was the brakes gone through. The brakes were sticky. I bought all the rebuild kits for all the calipers. They would come with the car and all that. The exhaust, you could run that exhaust if you wanted to. A little bit rusty, a little funky. You need CV axle boots. The rear diff is seeping a little bit as it would from a car from 1968, right? And if I was going to keep it, like I said, I would pull the engine. I would do I'd probably go ahead and do the pistons and rings. I would do valve stem seals, relapse the valves, put all new gaskets in it. The water pump seeps a little bit from the weep hole. I would definitely replace that. This thermostat, anything associated that could be leaked, just like I do in every other car here that's 40 years newer, right? And everything's got to be touched, everything's got to be done. But you can see on the back here, the bumper seems to be in pretty good shape. There's not a lot of rust anywhere on the car. And I guess I'll let it down and show you the inside. So this is what we've done with it so far. Put a brand new carburetor on it, brand new Weber. The upgrade from the factory one. Nothing crazy. It's like a factory updated one. It was brand new, not a rebuilt, not a remanufactured, not a anything. Put a brand new fuel pump. We found it has to go for this car only. It's a little bit separate from a regular 2002. It's different style. I think the regular 2002 though would work if you put a different push rod on it. But we got the right one. That was not that difficult to find. We put a little lawnmower gas fuel filter on it like most of these have. We didn't go anything extravagant with that. The radiator cap is leaking out of the radiator. We fixed that. We put a brand new OEM radiator cap on it. Not Chinese, not nothing. As Philip showed you here, it has all the factory labels under the hood. So the black labels. And that's one reason why I did not repaint this thing or do anything with it. Same way over here. These struts probably need new top hats or just dry rotted around the edges. There's no rust up here. There is no rust. We'll let Philip show you if you can even see down there. I don't know. There's no rust down here at all in the cowling. There's no rust up here anywhere. A lot of times the front of the hood's rusted out. That's not the case with this one either. And we threw a battery in it. I mean, that's really it. I did get the upgraded ignition parts for it. There's a little bit foggy on that, why that would not work. So it comes with the car if you want to figure that out. I went through, redid all the points in it, adjusted all the points correctly. Literally, when I pulled it back in here, you just bump the key, it fires right up. From a cold start, you pump the gas about 10 times, it'll fire right up with just a little bit of choke. It still has a manual choke on it. And I don't want to change anything on it. And the inside of the dash has a couple cracks in it, as you can see here through the, maybe you can see it. Must be nothing but a big reflection. We'll let Philip come on this side probably. So the factory, driver's side factory seat cover has some tearing on the bottom of it. I actually found these for the OEM seat covers where you take these off and put the new OEM material on. Is about $1,200. The floor mat's bunched up right now. There's no rot, as you can see, below anywhere on the floors. Everything is just originally dusty. All the clusters there, 108,000 miles. And all the window regulator and stuff works correctly as it should. All the door seals are proper. I'll let Philip get back there and show you that. I'm making him do weird stuff with the gimbal. He's looking at me weird. All the door seals are properly dry rotted, as you would think from this year it would be. I did find all the seals, the new windshield seal, all the door seals. There's about $350 worth of seals that need to be done. If you want to go that far with it. Most people don't even care. Most people drive it just like it is. Other than that, all the trim is here. Like all of it. And I hear that's a pretty big thing. And then everything else. This is probably the worst part of the rust right here on the trunk. None of that is through at all. Could I pay the body shop guy a few $1,000s to fix this car? Yes, I could. And we toyed around with it. It's not going to get the views for the channels, guys. It's just not. When I post in this car, it might get 2,000 views at the very, very, very most. It's so old that nobody gives a rat's ass about it. To be totally honest, a few of the guys do, but 2,000 views is not going to, it doesn't make sense for me to fix it. If we put a bunch of money in this car and did it all, I guess way more money for it, way more money for it. If we can't get what we're asking now, trying to get more out of it doesn't make sense, right? This will take a collector. This will take somebody that really wants a project to do. You can actually buy new old stock tail lights and all the markers. You make them brand new again. They're not bad shape. I'm just saying you could buy all that. This emblem stuff is all available, new old stock still. You know, a lot of the trim, like I said, is hard to find, is not available. Somebody said the brake calipers cannot be rebuilt. There's no parts. They weren't looking in the right spot because they're all over the place. It's not hard to find that. I already have all that stuff that goes with it, so don't have to worry about that. No fuel system problems at all. No issues with that at all. That's all I could do. We lowered the price to $15,000, guys. We're trying to do other stuff in the shop. There's no place for this. I'm not buying other cars because it's wintertime here and we can't fit them inside. And you guys know if we leave stuff outside in Missouri in the wintertime or anytime, it'll get full of mice. It'll just get, the weather will just ravage it, whether it's snow, rain, sleet, hail, tornado, whatever, you know, the Midwest is. Cannot leave stuff outside no matter what it is. We let the G-Wagon out 2 nights ago and it wouldn't go into gear. So Merry Christmas to me, huh? Finally got that sorted out. But that's gonna be it, guys, for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in this car, email in the description, email me. Only serious people only. A lot of you guys are not serious playing games, offer me $1,000, $2,000 for it. No. We're asking 15 grand for it. Maybe if you get close to that, maybe we'll take it, maybe we won't. No guarantees. Have the title in hand. The title is from 1972 when it first got imported. I did buy it from the original owner, so that's the situation with that. All right, guys, we'll see y'all later.